Over the weekend, actually on Saturday, November the 16th, Lakeith Stanfield, who's a prominent black actor, he's been going back and forth with Charlamagne, saying a few things. He actually dropped a diss song called Automatic, going at Charlamagne and some other people. Now, first and foremost, it kind of started where the actor pretty much called out World Star Hip Hop, The Breakfast Club, The Shade Room, and Lipstick Alley. He goes on to say, it's a fact that a lot of these platforms are usually or tend to be feeding grounds for negative reinforcement towards black nonconformists. They bolster false vanity and hold white supremacist scope over black men and women, often highlighting negative attributes and downplaying mind-expanding ones. They serve as bottomless cowards, consumption pits, and digital and audio and otherwise slave mentality museums. Now, November the 14th, like you were saying, SamAnt, Charlamagne pretty much gave him, I think, the donkey of the day and whatnot. I hope I don't have the wrong date, but
November 14th it came out.
Okay, November 14th it came out. So has a point, definitely has a point, especially when you talk about media outlets like World Star Hip Hop and a lot of people, like I was saying in the pre-production, that copied that format of just showing the negativity in the black community and promoting that. But before I go in on to give my opinion on this, SamAnt, how do you feel about this actor calling out Charlamagne and these other media outlets? Does he have a basis for it? What's your opinion?
I applaud him. Absolutely, he has a basis for it. I have the audio of what Charlamagne said and Lakeith's response. I actually found both of them.
Okay, cool.
And let me play a little bit of that, and then I want to hear what you got to say. We'll get it on 1, 2.
To an actor by the name of Lakeith Stanfield. You know Lakeith Stanfield, right? He plays Darius on the TV show Atlanta. You may know him as Andre from Get Out. Remember, he was the black man who went missing, and then when Chris hit him with the flash at the brunch auction Klan rally, he flipped out. Yeah, that brother. Well, yesterday he posted this on Instagram. He posted The Shade Room, Lipstick Alley, Breakfast Club, World Star, and many others are or anti-black. That's how he typed it. He said, and many other are, A-R-E, then typed or are, O-R, anti-black. I guess he didn't know which word to use or how to use it, so he decided to do both, just both, to be safe. I get it. Now, I had a great session with my spiritual counselor, Yadi, last night, dropping the clues bomb for Yadi. I also have therapy Friday at 3. One thing that my therapist and spiritual counselor allowed me to see is the God and everything. Everything is God. So even though this statement pissed me off for a second yesterday, it did. And I'll tell you why. I'm still going to see the good of God in this statement and use it as an opportunity to teach Lakeith. Because, Lakeith, you have to practice what you tweet or, in this case, post on the gram. Now, first of all, I breathed all of this out last night during my spiritual counseling session. I grounded myself, brought myself back to center, and released the anger. Because I know Envy was trying to rile me up when he sent this to me yesterday. Okay? I released all this anger last night I had for this statement. Because, you can say any and everything about me. I've damn near heard it all about myself online. But what you won't do is ever fix your lips to call one of my platforms, especially the Breakfast Club, anti-black. All right? Let me read the caption Lakeith Stanfield put with this meme. He said, it's a fact that a lot of these platforms tend to be feeding grounds for negative reinforcement toward black nonconformists. They bolster faux vanity and hold a white supremacist scope over black men and women, often highlighting negative attributes and downplaying mind-expanding ones. They serve as bottomless coward consumption pits and digital, audio, or otherwise slave mentality museums at all you want. End quote. I don't know what the hell Lakeith Stanfield is talking about, but I do know myself, Charlamagne the God. In the 9 years I've been on this Breakfast Club, I strive every day to be the perfect balance of ratchetness and righteousness. All right. There's not another show out there that goes from Byron Allen to Black Youngster like it's nothing. All right. You tell me a show where the guest list goes from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to 21 Savage. This show has gone from me talking about sucking farts out of women's asses to me encouraging brothers and sisters to go to therapy and invest in their mental wealth. You know why, Lakeith? Because that's life. And that's the way life works. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and act like we've gotten it right all the time, because we haven't. We've made plenty of mistakes on this radio, plenty of things I've looked back on and said, yeah, we should have played that a certain way. And all that critique is fine. But Lakeith Stanfield, don't you ever fix your raggedy ass mouth to call the author of Black Privilege, because I truly believe it is a privilege to be black, anti-black. Okay? Ask all those white people who call up here every day complaining about me saying crack ass cracker or mayonnaise, or asking me why everything got to be black and white. All right? Ask them Okay, if I'm anti-black, don't ever fix your mouth to call a brother like me anti-black, because Young King, I know for a fact you don't take the chances that I do every day in the name of blackness. All right, that's it.
Oh wow, Charlamagne felt some type of way about that shit.
Yeah.
Before he talked about releasing with God about 14, 15 million times. Before I give Lakeith's response to that, because he responded, it's 13 minutes. We won't play all of that. And Charlamagne had about another 7 minutes of work that he gave Lakeith. What do you think about what Charlamagne said, man?
First of all, I just think that, man, first I agree, with a lot, what Lakeith is saying. When you look at a lot, once again, now the Breakfast Club, you can kind of put them into a separate category, from a world star and different things. There's different categories here, but I look at the overall scope of things, and I always compare it to, other groups of people. That's the best thing to do. And you look at, Black wealth, you look at the Black exploitation films, the condition of a lot of Black neighborhoods, the joblessness rates, and then just the overall health and mental health. And Charlamagne talks about that a lot, of Black people is not, I think where it should be.
Faux vanity and hold a white supremacist scope over Black men and women, often highlighting negative attributes and downplaying mind-expanding ones. They serve as bottomless coward consumption pits and digital, audio, or otherwise slave mentality museums at all you want. End quote. I don't know what the hell Lakeith Stanfield is talking about, but
I know you don't know what I'm talking about, and that's clearly evidenced by a lot of the stuff you said in this video, but I'm gonna let you keep going.
Know myself, Charlamagne the God. In the 9 years I've been on this Breakfast Club, I strive every day to be the perfect balance of ratchetness and righteousness. All right, there's not another show out there that goes from Byron Allen to Black Youngster like it's nothing. All right, you tell me a show where the guest list goes from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to 21 Savage. This show has gone from me talking about sucking farts out of women's asses to me encouraging brothers and sisters to go to therapy and invest in their mental wealth. You know why, Lakeith? Because that's life. And that's the way life works, okay? I'm not going to sit here and act like we've gotten it right all the time, because we haven't. We've made plenty of mistakes on this radio, plenty of things I've looked back on and said, yeah, we should have played that a certain way. And all that critique is fine. But Lakeith Stanfield, don't you ever fix your raggedy-ass mouth to call the author of Black privilege, because I truly believe it is a privilege to be Black, anti-Black, okay?
Okay, I'm going to try to get through this without using ad hominem attacks and silly little things about your own personal life, because I don't think that's really what we have to hear. We have to the issues and topics at hand. Now, you just illustrated that sometimes you bring good guests, sometimes you bring bad guests. And that's kind of what I hinted to in the subtext of what you just read. Basically, what I was saying is outlets like yours have a tendency to lean toward highlighting negative things. And that's true. And if you don't understand that we engaged in a war, that it's a war to be Black in this bitch, that means if you ain't on the team moving things forward, then you against the goddamn team, period. So if y'all doing more of that bullshit, then that shit goes under the umbrella, which I will admit is a generalization, but the umbrella of anti-Black. And that's what the fuck I'm talking about. We're going.
Ask all those white people who call up here every day complaining about me saying cracker ass cracker or mayonnaise, or asking me why everything got to be black and white. All right, ask them. Okay, if I'm anti-Black, don't ever fix your mouth to call a brother like me anti-Black, because Young King, I know for a fact you don't take the chances that I do every day. And
okay, whatever the fuck that means. But also, I never called you personally anti-Black, but I can see why out of everybody you might be the most offended one on the goddamn show. But I never pointed you out. I said the platform as a whole, all three of y'all.
It's all right. That's exactly why you didn't call out any white media outlets, because your publicist, your agent, and those Hollywood executives you work for would have had a fit. You would never take that chance. See, as a Black person, it's safe to go at Black outlets like Shade Room, World Star, Lipstick Alley, Breakfast Club, and many others, as you said, but you would never fix your mouth to say that about any of the white outlets that do the same damn thing. Because
I'm focusing on the outlets that I tend to frequent and the ones that are predominantly are dealing with what we consider the Black thing. You know what I mean? Those are the ones that I'm really focusing in on, honing on at this particular moment. But that don't mean that I don't critique others. You may not hear that, you may not see that, but I critique all kinds of things. It just happened to be that this was on the list in the menu today. To suggest that, I'm not going against the other one. I mean, first of all, that's not my preoccupation, because I know what the fuck they gonna do, but I expect more from y'all. My bad for me holding you up to a higher standard. You know, let me back the fuck off because I hold you to a standard to not diminish your own people. You feel me? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That would affect you in Hollywood. So who's the real coward? Okay, who's really got the slave mentality? If it's easier to call out your own black people than it is to go at the others, white folk. Lakeith is one of these folks who be on red carpets and they don't even speak to black outlets. Okay, walk right back.
Not fucking true. I don't know where you got that information, but not true.
Baller, alert, or gossip, or Jasmine Brand, and go talk to E or people, as if those outlets don't report so-called negative stories, as if those outlets are any less messy, okay? Lakeith, I think it's hard to get the character Andre out of your spirit, because it sounds like you may still be in the sunken place, but I'm not about to go back and forth with you about this. I'm going to simply say, when you are on any of these platforms, or even when you are on your own platforms like social media, how about be the change you want to see in the world? Don't give these platforms negativity to reinforce, because all we can do is provide the platform. The artists provide the content. There's been plenty of people who have sat in this room and elevated the conversation in this room,
Okay, we provide whatever the fuck you're talking about. That's a simple cop-out. That's not taking responsibility for the kinds of things that you conjure up.
You know, a lot of things, you know, are deteriorating. I just think that when certain outlets continue to highlight and promote the things that they promote, the negative stereotypes, the negative things going on, like we clicked on the Instagram today, we seen Breakfast Club talking about somebody got fired from Popeyes to help for their son coming in, helping them make chicken sandwiches. Like some of the stuff that they promote on there, and not even Breakfast Club, but mainly like a World Star and these different outlets would fuel these stereotypes and have other people have this perception of us one way. But again, even us, a lot of people say that about us. Oh, y'all talk about this, but we try as much as we can to show a positive thing. Like we'll do something on Master P, getting the business, you know what I mean? Starting something with his sneakers, or Jay-Z and his business deals, and Wealth here. We'll bring on business guys. So we try to, as much as we can, balance those scales, because at the end of the day, what's selling and what people are clicking and interested in is a lot of that ratchetness as well. So it's not only on the outlets, it's on the people as well for consuming it, because if they ain't consume it like that, these different outlets wouldn't pump it. World Star wouldn't put a video up, of two people fighting in the street if it didn't get 1 million hits in 2 hours, you know what I mean? But again, somebody's gonna have to be held accountable, for this. And I think that it's a two-edged sword with this, but what us as black people, it's just different than everybody else. So I got to take that stance with it, man. Definitely.
I have to agree and go along the lines with what Lakeith said as well. Yeah. Breakfast Club has broken a lot of gaps and bridged a lot of gaps, I should say, in the culture, and brought on a lot of people, like Charlamagne said, that we never would customarily see if, in fact, they wouldn't bring them on. And we're a lot of motivators for a lot of the things you see people doing today. Great job. And I didn't hear it all, but where was the accountability at? Because other outlets do, and you are the main stage of that outlet. So where is the accountability at? Now, you said that you wish that you would have looked back at some things and maybe did some things different, but you also can't really fix your face out to feel disrespected by what he said either, because he never called you out by name. He called you out by platform. And when you see and you go through your timeline, if you're sitting here tired and upset of looking at the narrative be so negative, and you see a Popeye chicken ad and you over that shit, and you see it happen coming from Power 105, that's the Breakfast Club. You associate the two. It is what it is. So, I mean, check the source. Don't check the person saying it. Don't check the messenger, Charlamagne. Right. I think that was a little bit far-fetched of him doing prior to him really understanding where the brother came from. He's tired of seeing negative or real disgusting narrative when it comes to our people, and the things that get driven are the fights, are the ratchetness, or the shaking of the ass, or this, or that. And it's like, we're getting tired of that, man. We want to see things in a different light, in a more positive light. Facts. Have a little bit of the combination of both, because if it's going to move, if it's going to move the people, then you do have a business. You got to go and do what you got to do to promote your business, but let there be a positive underlying even in what you promote. You said us, we got to take accountability in that as well. And we try to the best of our abilities, being in the media game, deciding, okay, we're going to create business in media. Right. So we're going to accept the negative connotation that comes with being in media. And some of that is, hey, we got to come in here, oh God, and look at what we got going on to the day. And sometimes this is something that we may not usually talk about, but we got to go there because we run a business. We got to do the best we can while we get into the belly of what we're going on to give the most positive and real perspective. but we got to go there. This is the business.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
and a lot of these, platforms are to the point now where if they were able to spin it right, they will be able to still promote a lot of positive stuff and stay alive. Like some people, that they got to put the ratchet shit up there to keep it going. But some of these platforms got these multi-million, followings. They can always, promote more, of that. But they're going to keep doing it. When you talk about these platforms, as long as people click, when they see somebody get punched in the face or a celebrity, somebody getting robbed and chain snatched, and as soon as it goes up, it's at 1 million views in 5 minutes. On Instagram, it's going to continue, to happen. But definitely a great point. It needs to be called out. It needs to be talked about. I'd like to see these two brothers have a conversation face to face on the show. I think that'd be dope.
I think we will eventually see we'll eventually see him on the Breakfast Club, and they'll be talking it out face to face. It's only right. I mean, if you got a platform where it's open like that, and he was on the Breakfast Club at one point before. I don't know if Charlamagne was at that Breakfast Club interview. I'm actually looking at the thumbnails now. Damn, they got 1 million views. I don't know when it dropped or what, but
right.
I mean, the brother's doing his thing, super talented. Obviously has a good head on his shoulder, a clear head on his shoulder, got some things to say. I think will be a great conversation.
Definitely. Yeah, man, that was a great, conversation. Real quick before